Good morning, madam. I request all the students to be all put your mic on a mute. We'll start the session in another minute time. I request you all to be stay on the room meeting. Dear students and the eminent speakers, we'll start the session. I request APJ MD Sheikh Salim sir to give a welcome address.
Good morning to all of you. Today, we are organizing World Environment Day. We celebrate every year on June 5th globally. It is a day on which we spread awareness about the environment and the need to conserve it. Moreover, it is essential to advocate for all green environment and the conservation of nature. It is quite simple as when we conserve the environment today, the future generations will be able to be so selfish and use of all resources for ourselves. Well, environment is the perfect opportunity to make people aware of the issues they are facing and how one can contribute to saving it. Thus, it is quite important in its own way. Well, environment reminds us to strengthen the world and ensure that nature is preserved at all costs. It throws light on the positivity of the environment. The industries and that is contributing largely to pollution. They are deteriorating the quality of air that we breathe and the water we consume. Thus, the day serves as an eye-opener for many citizens who are aware of all this. In other words, it spreads awareness among the common people in which the environment is facing right now. Moreover, it also encourages the public from different sources and active celebrate. But it also assumed to become active agents in developing environmental safety methods. Not just that, it also encourages everyone to keep their nearby surroundings safe and clean, so that everyone can have a cleaner, greener, and more prosperous future. So once again, allow me to welcome you all the well and webinar. Respected, most respected sir, Dr. Sultan Francis ecologist. Sir, of the APJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation, the House of Kalam, and our good friend, Indian cricketer, Mr. Vijay, sir. Welcome you, sir. And Airport Director. He is also contributing 60,000 saplings across the Tuticorin district with the support of Airport Authority of India. Also, we welcome Sasikumar, sir, Managing Director, Salcomp India Private Limited, Advisor of AKIF, and Mr. Gogul from ISRO. He is also one of our senior most advisors for AKIF. Welcome you, sir. And Dr. Ramesh from the University. Welcome you, sir. And Murugan, sir. We welcome you, sir, and all the dignitaries and guests and all over the India to participating, all the students, most beloved students, we welcome you all. Thank you.
Now I request Shri N.Subramanian Airport Director, Tuticorin, just have a special address, sir.
Very good morning to all. Respected Shri Sheikh Salim, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation, Rameshwaram, Chief Guest Dr. Sultan Ahmed Ismail, sir, Environmentalist, Dean, engineers, ladies and gentlemen, most especially students on today. Very good morning. It's an honor and great pleasure to join the World Environment Day online webinar for ecosystem, the theme declared by United Nations for the decade. First, I would like to appreciate Dr. Abdul Kalam International Foundation for arranging such a program, which is very much need of the hour. Right now, Corona pandemic and its impact on environment, the need of oxygen, concentrators, cylinders, vaccination to protect life and fight against the deadly diseases country is facing. The country has faced many challenges and overcome. Similarly, we shall overcome this soon also. Hope for the best. Let's respect and follow all safety precautionary measures announced by Government of India. Please do wear double mask if you are going in travel by air. Maintain physical distance. Wash your hands frequently. Use sanitizers for your safety and others. Why I am saying? Because our airport is a public area where always the people used to come and fly. For safe flying, all these things are very much required. I remember way back 25 years quite well. I could not have guessed that I would go on to my current position as Airport Director, Airports Authority of India, Tuticorin Airport. No doubt that time comes in each one's career to lead and protect the environment. As a public sector, we too join in the global movement to prevent, halt, and reverse ecosystem degradation and sustains future for all. Ecosystem comprises of all living organisms, forests, rivers, wetland, grassland, estuaries, and coral reefs. Ecosystem provides stable climate, oxygen, supply of water, food, materials, and all kinds of protection from disaster and diseases. Across the world, ecosystem faces massive threat. Forests are being cleared, rivers polluted, ocean degraded and overfished, mountain soil eroded, grass is getting exploited. On World Environment Day, a message resonated across the globe. Ecosystem restoration can help bring back biodiversity, create productive land for agriculture, provide jobs, restore nature, buffer against the airborne diseases, and helps vulnerable communities adapt to climatic change. Mainly, we need to replant or do plantation and protect our forests. We need to clean up our rivers and seas, and we need to green our cities. By accomplishing these things, we will not only safeguard the planet's resources, we will create millions of new jobs, will generate returns every year, and helps eliminate poverty and hunger. Now, let me come upon to my sector, what we are doing as a environment part. We are doing corporate social responsibility. So let me share with you the main points what we have done. Airports Authority of India taking various projects under corporate social responsibility in the villages around Tuticorin Airport. One of them is desilting, deepening, and strengthening of Nedungulam Kanmai in Kovilpatti Taluk, costing 28 lakhs. One more pond also similarly, Alampatti Kanmai. So the main objective of the program is to ensure comprehensive rehabilitation of minor irrigation tanks which are under the control of Panchayat Union, so as to restore the tank to their full capacity, increase groundwater recharge, prevent surplus runoff and breaches in the water bodies, and also to regulate the storage of water for drinking and agriculture purpose, thereby ensuring sustainable drinking water supply and increasing crop productivity and irrigated area. This work we have completed and we got good appreciation from the villages. Right now, anyone going over there, they can see the pond is full of water. They are getting water during this summer also. The another one is the solid waste management we have done around the Tuticorin Airport. While developing the airport infrastructure, we have decided to improve the basic needs, including hygiene, and to avoid diseases spreading in the village around airport. In cooperation with state government, the first step we have taken is solid waste management for villages around Tuticorin under CSR project for 85 lakhs. This project also almost in the verge of completion. We are just to put into operation. This delay is due to mainly this COVID pandemic too. Once it is cleared, it will be put in commissioning. Main aim of the project is establishing effective waste collection mechanism with a view point to collect more than 85% of the solid waste generated in the villages around the airport. There is a population of 26,000 people are there situated around the airport. So this technically and economically viable solid waste management plan, along with the design of collection, transportation, treatment, and disposal infrastructure, includes conducting efficient water transportation mechanism to be able to carry out 100% of the collected waste, processing and recycling of the solid waste, environment consensus and job creation for the local youth. Considering solid waste generation of 450 grams per household projected daily, we are expecting around 7 metric ton of solid waste can be treated in the solid waste plant, and it will be converted to manure and it will be supplied to the agriculturalists. So the dumping yard is available in Kumaragiri village, where the setup has been made. Almost it is in the completion stage. Next one is the corporate environment responsibility project. This we do have association with Dr. Abdul Kalam Foundation. Let us see how we have gone through this process. Social afforestation program under corporate environment responsibility scheme, supply of 60,000 saplings with 5,000 tree guards at Tuticorin Airport. In this regard, memorandum of supplementary tripartite agreement signed between the district collector, airport director, and APJ MJ, Sheikh Salim, management trustee, Abdul Kalam Foundation, Rameshwaram, for execution of the project on 23/2020. The main objective of the program is to plant 60,000 saplings and with the 5,000 tree guards at Tuticorin district. AAI will be funding the project and execution through the district collectorate as a deposit work, which includes manuring, stacking, transporting, etc. Identified location with minimum height of 5 feet and maximum height of 6 feet, including tree guard. Necessary shall be carried out by district administration and other things. Maintenance part, including watering and maintaining of the plants, will be done by Abdul Kalam Foundation as per our memorandum of agreement for 18 months. Now around 12,000 saplings we have planted. This due to Corona pandemic 1 and wave 2, we couldn't able to proceed further. It got delayed. The project cost is 1 crore. Once the lockdown restrictions is lifted, we will be able to continue our process. This is a good effort done by our tripartite agreement partner, Shri Abdul Kalam Foundation. I appreciate them for taking initiatives and quick response for planting the trees and maintaining the plantation also. So let's go green, make an use of recyclable products. For example, we do have the plastic shredder machine at the airport. Whatever the water bottles are passenger are using, it will be put on it and it will be shredded and it will send to the recycling units. Like that, the waste will be reduced. Reduced package we can do. Buying local farming products will reduce the environment impact of transport. Find out which fruits and plants grow at your place. Let us plant some plants in our garden or whatever the area around our home. As I have seen recently, Dr. Abdul Kalam Foundation, Dr. Salim is doing the plantation over there. So environmental study during the development of airport. This just I will share you what we are doing on the environmental study. Recognition survey of the area around the airport and field studies we are carrying out during the winter season for the environmental impact assessment studies to collect baseline and primary and secondary data for the present environmental scenario in the study area. And we do study for the requirement of water for the project and how we are able to cope up this one, and augmentation of drinking water for the new terminal building which is going to come up. That's also we are studying, and we are getting in connection with the TamilNadu Water Supply Board for getting the water. And we are the way sewage treatment plant also set up. We are doing setup, and treated water generated will be used for greenery development, toilet flushing, and HVAC makeup. Waste generated from shops, eateries, office of airport premises, deep line waste generated from aircraft, same will be collected, segregated, managed by external agency, and disposal as per solid waste management rules. We do plan for renewable source of energy in the form of solar, that is proposed as per 5% of connected load of 3000 kVA. We need 3000 kVA of power supply, out of which 5%, that is 500 kV of solar plant will be established to generate power. And rainwater harvesting, 140 rainwater recharge pits will be collected during this expansion plans. Greenbelt plantation is proposed on an area of 18,200 square meter at the airport. Open area will be covered with landscaping and grasses. It is proposed to plant 1,500 tree saplings at the airport itself. In addition, shrubs will also be planted as a part of landscaping. Tree cutting is not envisaged for this project, so that we will be getting more employment potential around this region. It is expected to generate about 200 direct and 500 indirect employment during construction phase, and 200 direct and 1000 indirect employment during the operational phase of the proposed project. Benefits of the project is also enormous. Better infrastructure facility to the passenger at new terminal building, more parking facilities for aircrafts, safe taxiing, increase in regional connectivity as it is boost tourism and commercial activities in the region, generation of more revenue to the state, hence more development of the region, boost in tourism, more people to travel in the state, employment opportunities to the people, more business and industries opportunities. So with this, let me conclude my speech with a quote of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. No matter what is the environment around you, it is always possible to maintain your brand of integrity. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Subramanian sir. Thank you for your excellent speech towards of our project and environmental projects. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I would like to call upon Shri Sasikumar Gendham, Managing Director, Salcomp Manufacturing India Private Limited, and the most senior advisor of AKIF by House of Kalam. Sir, now I leave it to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Suresh. Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, my sincere salutations goes to Dr. Kalam's Foundation, and also, our honorable chief guest for the day, and also, dear students, student friends from all across the country. Thanks for the opportunity, and it's indeed a great honor to be here talking about our contributions, that we can do to preserve and protect our nature. We all know June 5 is a day, that's a day has been earmarked as the World Environmental Day. It's just a day to remind all of us that we have a responsibility towards our nature. And the theme for this year is about restoration. And, we all know about this. Every one of us have been really impacted due to this pandemic. And this has really taught us great lessons. There is not one nation or a single individual who has not been impacted by this pandemic. This is a fact. Whether this pandemic is a man-made disaster or it's caused by nature, it's a very debatable subject. But our scientists, as we all know, all around the world have been really working tirelessly to protect all of us. And the outcome has been the vaccine. And this seems to be the only scientific solution to this pandemic problem that we have. The reason why I bring this out is in the last 2 years, not just destroying the environment, but then we have really mounted piles and piles of medical waste. That's the next problem the whole world is going to face, which is all these masks, aprons, gloves, other medical equipments and medical devices. So this is the next issue all of us have to face and see that how we can get along with this and get over these issues. Uh, That's on one side. But on the other side, we have also heard stories, a visibility of Himalayas from some of the northern region of India, which was never been seen for many decades. So the nature has also showed us, when we stop exploiting the nature, there is always a better solution that's available. I mean, you see a scene of Himalayas from your rooftop in the morning. I mean, there's no better day that one can have. So what is really this ecosystem restoration, which is the topic and which is the theme for the year by United Nations. So it's all about, preventing and also, reversing the damage that we have all caused as human beings. So it's basically about, moving out from exploiting form, but how can we really preserve and help heal it itself? I think this pandemic has been one example. When there was really lockdowns going on, like months and weeks all over the country and also in several parts of the world, I think we gave really a time for the nature to heal itself. And that's one of the reasons, how we could all see this, green things and rains coming in, April, May season, which probably, very rare it happens. So nature also has its own course. So we have actually been, destroying the nature or abusing or overusing beyond what it should be. So this process of restoration, we must be able to assist and then help the nature itself, to recover. So this process is basically called about restoration, helping the nature to recover on its own, where we stop abusing or overusing of the available system around us. As a matter of fact, it is stated that about one individual as a human being, we consume oxygen almost equivalent to 7 to 8 grown trees in every single year. Assume that over a period of our lifetime of one single individual, even a minimum of 7 trees, and somebody lives 70 years, it's almost 500 trees worth of oxygen. That's what we are consuming during our lifetime. So think about here, friends. Isn't it therefore our responsibility, that we help at least, help get this 500 trees available for the next generation? The contributions to all of this can come from individuals. It can come from collective approach from individuals. When I say, for example, all of our birthdays, anniversaries, annual days, or functions of schools, all can be done by planting trees. And that's exactly what Dr. Kalam has been advising, and Dr. Kalam has been proposing. Let's really nurture our nature and help planting as many trees as we all can. I think we can use all these memorable days by planting a sapling and help it grow. That's as individuals, but also as collective approaches. We also can do this as societies, as organizations, either it's a for-profit organization or not-for-profit organization. I think there are several organizations that are working towards, specifically in the areas of restoring and preserving our nature. And one such example is Dr. Abdul Kalam's Social Forestation Project, which also our previous speaker from Airports Authority of India. So in joint cooperation with them, there's a major mission to plant 1 million trees in coming years. So such initiatives, we all could be part of it. Beyond that, also contributions by corporates and industries. Industries and corporates also are a significant part of this global warming, either directly or indirectly. I mean, it's not that somebody is really destroying by design, but I think even indirectly we all contribute to this process of global warming. And therefore, it's really very apt that even industries and corporates, we all have to join together to restore restore measures, and either voluntarily or by mandated by law. I think for industries there is already 2% corporate social responsibility funding, that needs to be done based on profits that the companies generate. I think a part of that at least could be used towards helping our nature, on towards such green initiatives. We must be minimizing our waste during the manufacturing process. In fact, we are one of the largest electronics producers. We produce a lot of electronics. But then how can we minimize waste? One, during the design phase, two, during the manufacturing process, and three, also, by using of renewable energies. And finally, also how we can recycle our products. It's all about, reducing, reusing, and recycling. I think this should be the concept for each and every one of us. But anyway, see, as we all know, none of this can be done overnight. We cannot change the whole world overnight. But however, a single step a day can definitely make a positive change. So it all change actually starts from home, meaning change actually starts from individuals like us. We must really aim to leave this world as a better place for our generations to come. What we really enjoy today, this is not what we did. And all these plants and trees, it's already available. It's not that we planted, somebody else has planted, and we are ripening fruits, and we enjoy the benefits. So therefore, it is also our responsibility that we leave this world as a better place for future generations. Think about it, see, nature is really permanent. Nature is here to be there for billions or trillions of years, but we have only a short lifespan. So therefore, we as human beings, we are only very transitionary and not permanent on this earth. So whether all of us are here or not, I think nature is here to protect several generations to come. So each one of us have a responsibility towards this, and let's really execute this very well. As a minimum, each one of us must plant at least a sapling a month. Let's talk about one a month, So then you at least do 12 a year, which is 1.5 times of what you consume annually. So this will really help go in a long way. And just assume that if 1.3 billion Indians, plant one sapling each, at least 1 year, I mean, all of a sudden things would change drastically to the whole earth. So with my humble request is that, let's really reduce the usage, whatever it is. It's not just about natural resources, but everything that's man-made or naturally available. We have to minimize usage and preserve them for the future, and also help restore and help also generate that we can contribute from our point of view. And as a minimum, bare minimum that every one of us can do is planting a sapling at least one a month. That would be a great help that we do to our Mother Earth. So let's nurture our nature and help restore it in every possible way, either it's small or big, but let's take the first step. Thank you very much again for the opportunity, and let's all do our bit of it. Again, wish you all good luck. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sasi sir. Thank you. Such a valuable speech, and it's most important awareness about our environmental nowadays. Thank you so much, sir. So I next moving on to before moving on to the next guest, I would like to share some just AV so that we'll next we'll go for further.
Sureshji, there's no volume.
Volume.
We could not able to hear. No. Is other people, Sasikumar, you are hearing?
No, we can't hear. Yeah.
No, we can't.
No, no sound.
Okay.
Sorry for the interruption. I'll just but anyway, we will take it moving forward. So, Vijay Shankar, he is an Indian international cricketer and also he is a advisor of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation. So, after we launched this 1 crore tree plantation, he himself taken an interest and he made a social forest on his own interest, and this is what now we are delivering this video. So, how passionate he is for that environment, nature. So this is what, even though he's an international cricketer, he is spending a much time for the environment. So we all know only for him for the international cricketer, and apart from that, he's concentrating environment also. So thank you, Vijay Shankar ji. Thank you so much for this AV. I would like to now to have a Shri Vijay Shankar ji, Indian cricketer, to deliver the speech.
Thank you so much. Good morning, all. It is an absolute honor for me to be part of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Foundation, and I think it was a sheer coincidence for me. When I met Dr. Salim and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's foundation, each and everyone told me about planting trees and their target towards planting 1 crore trees and all. So when I bought the land, it was actually a great thing for me to plant trees, and it was a different experience for me. I should actually thank my dad for this, because he travels almost 100 kilometers every day to take care of those. From the time I bought the land to now, it has been a great transformation, because the time I bought, it was a barren land, and now when I go there and see how it is, it just gives me goosebumps every time, and especially times like this where we are all finding it difficult to even have a normal life. I think this thing is actually giving me a lot of satisfaction. I know I got the pass now, and then I'm able to travel to my farm almost every day, and I spend at least 4-5 hours there. I can practice there. I have a small practice facility also. So from when I planted those, the difference was I might have not enjoyed eating vegetables or fruits that much, but the time I planted those trees and when we started eating those vegetables and fruits, I think I started enjoying it a lot more. And it just gives me a different feel. Every time you go there, you enjoy the nature, you go sit with the trees. My dad, every time he says that, you go spend time there, you feel like the plants are literally having conversation with you. So those things were, pretty new. And of course, being part of this foundation, I should definitely contribute something to this nature. And I feel really happy that I've got something like this. And definitely I'll try and do a lot more. From the time I bought, I think it was 2019. From that time to now, I think I have close to 150 to 170 trees that I've planted in my farm. So, and also the most important thing is not just planting it. I think it is important for us to take very good care of the plants, watering it or whatever the small things that we can do. I think it will give us great satisfaction. So I remember, when we had this cyclone recently where, there were a lot of trees that got washed away. I remember my dad, traveling even during that cyclone time to, go out there and try and, do the best, that we can for the plants to, give life. And today, when we get the fruits out of it, I think we really enjoy it. So it's just not about the fruits or vegetables that we get. I think it's about the time that we spend with the nature. It gives a lot more satisfaction than being busy, with doing our own stuff. This is one thing where I learned in the last 2 years. I think it was a great transformation, not just in terms of my cricket, it was also in terms of what I can contribute to this, to the nature. So it was great experience. I should definitely thank Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's foundation. If not for them, I don't know if I would have done all these. So really happy and proud to do little things like this. And it's just not about getting a big farm and planting trees. It's also about having a farm, like a small thing in the terrace where a lot of people, the people close to my house, they are doing that. And every time they they spend little time with those plants and trees, it will definitely give a lot more satisfaction than just going out and doing our own work. So on the whole, it was a great learning for me in the last 2 years, and I'm sure I'll have a lot more conversation with them, and I look to get it better. I look to contribute as much as I can, and let's save nature and let's have a better future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vijay Shankarji. Thank you so much for joining us, even the busy schedule of yours, and thank you so much. And the video I will just share the entire audience already. We will be putting in our social media. Thank you, Vijay Shankar. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now I like to move on. Our chief guest, Dr. Sultan Ahmed Ismail, sir, M.S. Ph.D.
Hello. I'm not able to hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, but I'm not able to hear anybody else. Can I start?
Sir,
Yes, sir. You can start, sir. We can hear you well, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, children. I'm going to talk to you people. Immense thanks to the APJ Kalam International Foundation, its members, and I was greatly impressed with the conversations of Mr. Subramanian, Mr. Sasikumar, and Mr. Vijay Shankar. Tamil பேசிருப்பேன், but I find lots of children from other states as well, so I will better maintain English. Children, I'm going to talk to you, and I know that all adults also have a child in them, so I'm also treating you as my children, okay? Right. The problem starts right from the beginning, Raja. Children, please try to understand these concepts of ecology. I'm not going to preach you anything because you know most of the things. The problem starts is we start teaching you wrongly. As a teacher who has been teaching 47 years, I want to tell you, sorry, we have been teaching you very wrong. We start teaching you by saying in ecology that there is something which is living and something which is non-living. We tell you that air is non-living. Uyaratra Pural. We call ourselves living. Yeah, teacher told you in the class, right? Teacher told you air is non-living. We are living. But teacher did not tell you that if we remove the non-living air from my body, I become non-living. Right? Water is non-living. We are living. But remove the water from my body, I become non-living. So what we must understand, there is nothing like living, non-living. We are all inseparably interrelated. You know the soil, because all our good friends, my speakers, they told we must plant trees because soil is there and soil should be taken care of. You know, children, the soil has so many important characters. You know that soil has a brain. You know that? Mannuku moola unda. Does soil have a brain? Soil has a brain. Yeah, soil has a brain. Soil has a brain. You know, you dig a pit and put all the leaf, dry leaf, cow dung, close it, it will decompose. Yes, very good, it will decompose. But if you plant a seed, it will not decompose, it will germinate. The soil knows what it has to decompose, what it has to germinate. So such a beautiful soil, should we not protect it, Raja? How can we protect it? We must hold the soil back. You know, every soil has a top soil. This top soil is very important for us. Nature very hard, works very hard, and to produce 1 inch of topsoil, it takes 250 years. 250 years, 1 inch of topsoil. Should I not protect? How can I protect? I must put trees which will hold the soil. So you are planting trees not just to get oxygen. You are planting trees because you have to hold the resource. You have to hold the soil because soil gives us food. Clear? Soil gives us food. And if soil gives us food, we must make the soil happy. How can I make the soil happy? Should I provide the soil with food or with medicine? There's no point giving medicine. So all chemical fertilizers are medicines. They are food. Yes, beta. Very good. Very good. This kid, Sai Pranav, you are very good. Sai Pranav, just like you said, we must give a lot of food. And food is organic matter. So we have to produce manure. That is what Mr. Subramanian was saying and Mr. Sasi was saying, that we should make use of our resources. We should not dump our resources. So wherever possible, we will recycle, we will produce organic matter. This organic matter will go inside. Only one thing we must tell these elders also, is it not? What do you say, children? We must also tell Mr. Sasi, Mr. Subramaniam, Vijay, Mr. Dawood, Mr. Salim, that restoration. The theme for this year is ecosystem restoration. I sometimes laugh at these words, really laugh at these words. You know, people say restore the earth. Who are we to restore the earth? The earth has to restore us. Can we restore something? Children, please understand this concept. Somebody is driving a motorcycle, meets with an accident. His leg is cut and removed, amputated. If I can give back the original leg, that is restoration. Can I give the original leg? I am giving an wooden leg. And what is wooden leg? Rehabilitation. So what I can do as a human being is rehabilitation. Nature restores itself. Nature is great. We can only rehabilitate. How can we rehabilitate? There are two ways. One is mitigation. Children, please get these words. Mitigation. What is mitigation? Mitigation means where we try to say, no, that's like people told you, advised you, I must avoid plastics. I must not try to use judicious use of plastic. I will not say don't use plastic, because can I tell don't use plastic? I can't say don't use plastic because I am using a plastic frame now. How can I say I can't don't use plastic? I must say judicious use of plastic. So single-use plastic is not necessary. Especially I want you people, children, please don't get carried away with advertisements which come on the television and the media where they're trying to promote microplastics. Microplastic in toothpaste, your teeth will be white. Microplastic is shampoo so that you can become very all right. Microplastic is a big contaminant today. Microplastic has entered the waters. In Chennai, Red Hills water has microplastics. Velacheri air has microplastics. Fish has microplastic. On June 2020, they reported that even fruits and vegetables have microplastic. And very recently, they reported even the placenta, which connects the baby with the mother, which is the most clean blood, has been reported to contain microplastics. So let us try to avoid microplastic. Raja, these are all very important. And trees, children, you must also try to understand, we take a lot of oxygen. We take 550 liters of oxygen per day. And in fact, if you calculate in terms of cost, like what rightly pointed out by Mr. Subramanian and Mr. Sasi, that the cost today, the cost of oxygen, which we inhale every day, is 13 lakh rupees. You and I, every day, are inhaling 13 lakh rupees worth of oxygen. And one tree, big tree, gives me 24 crore rupees worth of oxygen per year at an average. Frida Raja. And because Dawood and Salim and the foundation is based in Rameshwaram, please try to understand how to protect our coastal regions because the climate change is bringing a change. ஒரே ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்கட்டுமா குழந்தைங்களா? Children, do you know what is this, Raja? This is called as the eyebrow. This eyebrow is a waste. Absolutely useless. That is why many people remove it and draw it with the pens. Yes, eyebrow is totally useless as long as I sit in an air-conditioned room. When I go in the hot sun, sweat comes. And sweat, whereby, is salt water. Goes into my eyes, it will burn. That is the time when the eyebrow catches the salt water and takes it and sends it to the sides, protecting my eye. In the same way, our coastal villages, my humble request to APJ Tree Foundation and Vijay Bhaskar sir, please understand and try to explain the people in the coastal villages. Because of climate change, there is a lot of erosion taking place. The eyes are the villages and the families living over there. The sweat is the turbulence which will come from the sea because of climate change. And the eyebrows which protect them will be the trees which are going to plant today. So let us give them a green cover so that they are able to. Why I try to repeat this, children, is please understand a simple word, especially all the industrialists. In fact, Mr. Subramanian, Mr. Sasi, Mr. Vijay, because you interact more with people, please remember this word that for anything on environment is management. Management. Management spelling, please recollect in your minds. Have you recollected the spelling? Now, pronounce the word without the last letter T. Manage men. Means manage human beings. Now pronounce the word without the last letter N. Manage me. If we can manage ourselves, each individual, we can manage others. And that is management. We don't need an M.B.A to understand these concepts. Children, please do wonderfully. And every child who is attending my lecture today, my simple request to you, Raja, please start growing plants. They said plant a tree. I know that some of you will be living in apartments. You may not have a space to plant a tree. Your Amma Appa will not allow you to go outside now because of the pandemic. At home, take coconut shell. Coconut shell. In that, put little soil and manure. And from the kitchen, take some methi, vendiyam, fenugreek, put it into it. In 15 days, you will have excellent vendikirai, methi sabzi, methi saag. Take it, enjoy your meal with a methi puri or a methi paratha or a methi chapati. And that is what is greening. Greening doesn't mean that you should go out at this point of time and create a problem for your family. Do whatever possible at home and do it beautiful. And because this year, many of the children I look here on the screen, you may don't insist that I would study this, I would study that. Study whatever you feel happy, but give a big choice. Whatever you may study, you may be something good. And those children who are studying now, because the marks are going to be consolidated and you have no examinations, there'll be heavy competition. So please take whichever subject you are able to get, study with passion, you can be somebody in life. Good luck to you all. Happy Environment Day. And thanks very much to the APJ Kalam Foundation, Dawood and Salim. Of course, that team which consists of Gokul, Suresh, and other people who have been coordinating, and all these people. Thank you very much and all the best to you. Good luck, children. Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your valuable speech, sir. And we would like to congratulate you on behalf of our foundation and this program. Sir has been selected as a TamilNadu Development, the State Development Core Committee members recently. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you,
And
sir.
what and all you was told now, sir, regarding this environmental protection, we will look into that and we will walk to forward, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now I move on to the next session is a student interaction session. Before that, I like to give a small speech to Gokul Devendran, ISRO scientist and advisor of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir, Foundation. Sir, Gokul sir, now I leave it on to you.
So,
Gokul sir.
audible? Yeah. Am I audible?
Be audible, sir. Go ahead. Yeah, am I audible? Yes, sir. Gokul sir, are you there?
So very good morning. To all. Pleasure that I am there. Yeah. So it's an immense pleasure that I could be able to see all the eminent speakers, guests, as well as the students. So definitely, I think always our Abdul Kalam International Foundation is doing a wonderful job, especially on the environment. So environment is nothing like is one anyone, all like to every world. That's the theme is COVID period. The very ecosystem restoration. Definitely, I think try to see. I think the changed almost like a couple of years or 3 years. I think what we could not able to think today, it's something like a very rapid change is happening, and the importance of two important things. One is environment, and one health. I think this COVID has taught us very important perspective on health related environment, and again how we can able to protect the environment. So definitely, I think along with the support of foundation and other eminent personality, we have taken a good movement of previous couple of years, creating a social forest. And today, I think because of one seed which is done by our foundation, today I think so many ecosystem restoration has happened. It's not like so many microorganisms, so many sparrows or birds. Everything is taking its own shelter and coming back, and they're taking its own life. So that's very important. As many of the speakers like already said about the importance of trees, the oxygen. It's only like a humble request to all. I think everybody linked with our environment, and we cannot say like bye bye to environment, because we have to live on this earth, and the earth is only one the planet which we all take it up as a shelter. But definitely, I think the green cover is very, very important. And as people said, I think we have so much of knowledgeable and technology which is rolled up. You people every year when you like a born, I think we celebrate birthday. So why you cannot able to plant trees according to the numbers of birthday? Suppose now I'm age of 30. I think it's my role, it's my tendency that I need to plant 30 trees, and that whole year I need to sustain it, and I have to hand over to the earth, Mother Earth. Again, when the 31st has happened, I think we have to plant another 31st. Definitely, you take that as an ambition and goal, and that is sufficient to restore the earth and restore the ecosystem. What we could not able to give back our money or our time, you just do that only one day, and make your parents and also relatives, your friends, neighbor. This kind of a change we have to make it up right now, because it's very, very hard to see our own neighbors or friends who has been collapsed because of COVID. But it's not because of the COVID. Almost I say the complete COVID, which has been occupied in the entire world, is only something 5 milligrams. So this many people have been infected. It's because of 5 milligram, which we could not able to measure in this small scale. But you see how much the impact has happened. It is not COVID alone came out. It is because of the environment impact what we have given it past 30, 40, 50 years. Definitely, I think this is the time I think we should take up a call. And definitely foundation is also going to give a massive support. And maybe I request our trustee, our Sheikh Dawood sir and Salim sir, and also we have advisor Sasikumar sir and Vijay Shankar. So these kind of a chain we can able to take it up, and this should be plotted complete India, nearly to 150 crore people. And everybody you try to implement your bird age as a plantation of tree and leave it up for the year. And definitely, I think this is going to bring out a big change, and that will become a sustainable. So with that, I think I thank the foundation. Maybe we have a QA sessions right now with another 2 more panelists also been with me. So I hand over to Mr. Suresh. I think thank you so much.
Thank you, Google sir. Now I'd like to call upon Dr. L. Ramesh, Dean, Engineering and Technology, Dr. MGR, Educational Research and Institutes. Sir, before we on to Ramesh sir, I would like to congratulate. Recently, sir has been selected as a United Nations political to the green environment. Congratulate you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was very nice and
sorry to interrupt you. We will just quickly complete the speech. Next, we'll move on to the Q&A session. You will all to ask questions to the students.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Yes, very happy that very good information which is given by our chief guest and our guest of honor and all the members. It was very happy to participate in Abdul Kalam Foundation. It is feeling like Sir Kuda, Abdul Kalam Sir Kuda, it like a connected with that. It feeling in that way only. See, always whenever I heard a call from APJ Sheikh Dawood Sir, I feel like that. Yes. Again, sir is calling, Abdul Kalam sir is calling me to participate in a program. So that is what the energy. So that energy only make us to connect all and to go today. APJ Abdul Kalam Foundation taken a lot of initiative to bring back our society like 100 years back. It means that clean air. I'm talking about the clean air. So clean air, clean water like that. So we all also working together, lot of things. So couple of years back, lot of people come out with talking lot of things, but implementation part is not there. But when last 2-3 years, there is a lot of organization coming out and going for the implementation. It is a very good initiative because after flood 2015, now when we can able to see in Chennai, TamilNadu, there is a lot of tree planted. It is not only the planted, people are taking care of the growth. That is very important. I can point it out because 10 years back, there is a press news will be there. 65 lakhs tree planted, like this planted. But after 10 years, where this plant, we don't know. But I am very happy that Abdul Kalam Foundation is taking care of the plants and continuously monitoring that how the progress of the plant and where this plant is there and what is the growth of the plant like that. So this is what the very good news which I am seeing, and lot of other organization also doing the same style. Not only the that continuously monitoring all. I'm happy to note that our Vijay Shankar he inaugurated our environmental day 2 years back, and hope in Dr. MGR. Thank you so much, sir. After that, continuously we are doing a lot of activities on that. You started that initiative. So thank you so much for my quick note, and so we are ready for the next session, question and session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Ramesh. Thank you. Now I'd like to call upon Dr. J. Balmurugan. He's a committee member, Electrical IEF TNS, Tamil Nadu State Committee, and he is also Vice Chairman of IGEN. And before moving to Balmurugan sir and Ramesh sir and Gokul sir, so we are all very closely associated with since last 5 years to concentrate more on environment. So whenever we do any environment activities, any foundation activities, they'll come forward themselves and they'll give the good support till the end and the great success of this all the events. So now I just leave it to Balmurugan sir. Just deliver the speech 1 minute. Next, we'll quickly
Yes, sir.
move on to the Q&A session. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So at the outset, I wish all the best for the team, and I just want to add only one point to the society. So it's something like planting trees alone not going to suffice the problem actually. So we work on with the electricity board. So we always, as a production company, so we want to increase the production only. Sasikumar sir always knows about the production. So the production need to be done, but we are as a vice president of institution of green engineers, we are working on with 1 unit energy save. So it's not planting the trees, but to save the energy means you are equivalent to 1 unit save means it is equivalent to planting 1 tree. So that means that going to the bathroom, entering the bathroom on urgency, it's a quick move that we would switch on our light. But coming back, we don't have the responsibility to switch it off. Means a 100 watts bulb, leave it for 8 hours means it would consume 1 unit of energy, which is chopping a tree actually. So that means that we always need not go with the same scenario like planting the trees or growing up the trees. So that is one particular scenario where we need to get an opportunity to work on it, but we need to make sure that wherever we get the opportunity, we need to utilize the opportunity to conserve energy. So that's our point, and thank you so much for the opportunity, and it is my pride and privilege participating in APJ Kalam's foundation, sir. So like Ramesh sir said, it is our privilege that we would be part of it every then and there. So thank you so much. We can go ahead. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bala sir. Now we'll move on to the next session is a Q&A session. What we have done now, sir, we have just queue the questions. One by one, the students will shoot the questions, and I'll tell the name, the chief guest who to answer the questions on as per the convenient. I'll just move on to the share the screen to show that questions PPT. So this is a question actually. So I request AM Dev, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you there?
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So this question is for Gokul sir. You shoot a question. AM Dev, start. I hope Gokul sir, you are visible, no?
Yes.
This is the question from AM Dev. Which are the methods used for the management of medical waste? Can we produce any real plant to eat pollution? Can we reduce the air pollution at one region through temporary garden, aerial plant, pollution eater? May help the COVID lockdown to maintain the employment.
Yeah. So I think maybe the right person is our chief guest today, Sultan Ismail sir. He is more than me. Definitely, I'll put my solution. There are various plantations are there, which always like clean up the air, and a few important plant I think we would have seen which generates more oxygen. Also, like try to eliminate the pockets which is in the air. Maybe some of the plants which has a capacity to inhale certain kind of components which is there in the environment. See, the complete the world has been made by the God, and God knows how to eradicate some kind of air pollutions by some other method, and that is what He has discovered so much of plantations which is unimaginable to our own eyes. And we don't know how many like we have discovered in our books of botany or biology. There are so many like plants has been discovered, and they are doing their own ambitious job. And this COVID lockdown, yes, we have seen couple of years. Last year, I think we are all so enjoyable that almost I think 40 days when we are in lockdown, I think as our Sasikumar was saying, we could able to see from a place in Jalandhar to Himalayas. And today also, I think we have seen a place from Uttaranchal, we can see the Himalayas. So that is the amount of air pollution was cleaned up because of the lockdown. And similarly, I think it not only happened in India, it's happened throughout the world, where so many like microorganisms or animals which start coming out. When we're all inside the house, I think they started playing. They started enjoying. This is our solution, and it's only not should happen in COVID lockdown. See, after COVID lockdown, maybe after India, I think October, November, December, January, I think we become normal life, and we again put all the animals inside, and we were roaming outside. So that should have like a change in our brain, and we should think that already. I think enough impact is seen by our country, enough impact seen by our human being. I think it's the right time. I think we should go ahead and planting a trees. I think that planting a tree should have some kind of a scientific impact. Maybe I will share it some of the trees, and also I think our Ismail sir also is there. You can also like give up what are the abundant plants which is available in our earth which can able to consume more air pollution. One important we should put up in the Delhi. I have some feel why does Delhi is having high impact of death rate? Two important. One, lack of oxygen. Another one, Delhi is already contaminated with air pollution. We know like in the world, I think almost out of 100 cities, Delhi is in top 10. And when already air pollution is happening, I think the people's lungs is already contaminated with more particulates. And that is what, when this kind of a COVID impact has happened, their lungs is not able to function at 100%, even they could able to have more oxygen. So this should not happen to other part of the country. So it is very high alarm that we need to protect our nations by controlling air pollutions. And we also will share some of the trees which you can also plant it. And maybe through our foundation, we can even distribute those plantation to reduce this air pollutions. Yeah.
Thank you, Google sir. We will move on to the next question. So the next question from Amina Swart Faria. You can shoot your question, Mark.
Okay, sir. The onus of conserving the environment lies mostly with the people. So how can we sensitize children from a young age to take up this responsibility? And how can the education system be fine-tuned to include this aspect in schools in addition to the regular syllabus?
Sir, I request Dr. Sultan Ismail sir to answer this question.
Thank you very much, Amina, for a wonderful question that you have raised. Yeah, right from childhood, if there are examples at home where the elders are taking care of plants, children automatically follow the elders. So if you are an elder sister and you have younger siblings, if you start doing that beginning, then your younger siblings will start learning from you. That is the easiest way. You see, most of these habits do not come from vertical transfer of information. Horizontal transfer of information is much easier. The second thing which you have asked is education system. TamilNadu government textbooks already have, right from the smaller classes, a sort of environment-related projects and environment-related and plant-related systems where children will have to do some experiments using plants, growing plants. But you stole my suggestion. In fact, I have already put the suggestion and sent to the Planning Commission, because as a new member of the Planning Commission, I have been formulating the things in which I have suggested. One of the suggestions which I am giving is every school should have a live laboratory. Live laboratory in the sense, plants should grow there. Whatever plant which can grow in that area should be grown as a small garden, which will attract insects and butterflies. So all the waste which is generated to the school compound will become manure, which will go into the garden. The hand washing water will be the water which will be watering the garden. So entire ecosystem can start functioning from where every school, every child will observe, and by seeing, a child will be able to replicate. Hopefully it will be accepted, and hopefully many children will get benefit better. Hopefully things will go on. Am I clear, Amina?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Beta.
So we move on to the next question. I request Anthony to shoot your question.
Yes, sir. Sir told about earthworms down. Sir.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Sir told about your life challenging times. And Vijay Shankar sir's questions. What is your dream to achieve in environments? How do you insist in environment? Share your career about in environment.
Yeah, sir, what he is asking, the first question is, I'm interested to know about Earthworm Town to Dr. Sultan Ismail, sir. The second question is, sir told about your life challenging times. Both the question is for to Dr. Sultan Ismail, sir. Sir, now you can go ahead.
Earthworm Town, actually what happened was, the idea was when I was invited to China, and China invited me to design an earthworm town. Earthworm town, earthworm as a representative. Earthworm as a representative. Aதாவது, when I look at a soil has a large number of organisms. It has microorganisms, microarthropods, millipedes, centipedes, all those animals. But earthworm is considered as a representative. This I'm not telling anything new. Aristotle called the earthworms as intestines of the earth. Darwin, about whom you think he wrote a book on evolution, even before he wrote a book on evolution, he wrote a book on earthworms. And Manoormaniyan Sundranar, our own poet, Tamil poet, he wrote, Yammannayam Nalmannakum Nankur Puluve. Whatever may be a soil, it can be converted to a good soil by earthworms. And recently, Kalyanji has written, Yaane Kudam Parka Mudikendrathu Parka Mudividaye Manpuluvai. The other, we are able to see elephants, but we are not able to see earthworms. Earthworms actually create a sort of a fertile structure of the soil. So my vision was that every district should have an earthworm town. Is a small area where several aspects, earthworm is only a representative, several aspects of sustainable agriculture, which can be sustainable, ecologically sustainable and economically viable things can be displayed, from where farmers can learn and go back and start. That is the only thing. My life challenging times was when earthworm came and fell into my lap. Children, those who are listening to me, I am known as an earthworm scientist throughout the world. I'm one of the pioneers to start vermiculture for India. I studied fishery biology and marine biology for my M.Sc and M.Phil. When I came back to my lab, I wanted to do an experiment for my student and I wanted a live specimen. On that day when I wanted a live specimen, the lab assistant, when I asked him, he said, "Sir, I have only earthworms." Had I said, "No, I work only with this fish," then I would not have grown at all in life. I accepted that and then I started culturing. And then the whole world knows what I have done, right? So please, children, don't be too focused on one thing. Try to accept what nature gives you and try to grow in life. And that is what is my dream, that every child should relate to the environment. Thank you very much, children.
Thank you, sir. The next
yeah, more questions. Yeah.
Shall we move forward, sir?
Yeah.
The next question is Vijay Shankar, sir. What is your dream to achieve in environment? How do you interested in environment? Share your career about in environment. Vijay Shankar, sir, this is why.
What is my dream to achieve is something, I just wanted to give something back to the nature, because whatever we are today, I think we would have experienced even a small thing like, when I go and play in the ground, the grass, there is something very important for us. So when I, started planting these trees, it was giving me a lot more satisfaction. And today, when I go and sit there during this lockdown or all this pandemic, when I go and spend some time there, it just gives me a total relaxation. And I'm able to give so many people, a lot of vegetables and fruits. And we had groundnuts there. We were able to give the oil to so many people. So those way, I started enjoying the thing that I'm helping others. So that is one important thing. And so interested in sharing your career about. So it's just about growing from here. It's just about I just want to do as much as I can to the people. There's a lot of people around my farm who are like struggling there. They don't have much of education. I'm trying to tell them what they need to do. The basic education that which is important for us. Or even when they come and work in my farm, like when my dad gives them some money, that is also very important for them. So in a way, I'm trying to help people around me. And as Sir rightly mentioned, Ismail Sir rightly mentioned a few minutes ago about the elders showing the way. I think that is also another important thing where my dad is doing a lot of he spends the whole day there. So today, when I have a tulsi plant or the Karpuravalli plant at home, my niece, she waters all the plant. My niece is just 5 or 6 years old, so she goes waters all the plants, and she just takes a leaf out of it and eats sometimes, which is also healthy. So those things are something which I'm also learning, and with everyone's help, I'm sure I'll gain more knowledge, and I'll try to improve myself, and I'll try to do as much as I can to this world.
Thank you, Vijay, sir. Thank you. We'll move on to the next question. So the next question is Veena Sri. So I request all the students, we got 31 questions in this session. So we will try to frame all these questions. If not, no, we will send you an email your answers. Now the question is Veena Sri. Veena Sri, you can start your question, ma.
Yes, sir. Thanks to all the dignitaries here. First, I would like to ask Sultan sir. Dear sir, your speech was encouraging and uplifting, and I took all those words you said to my heart. Thank you, sir. now I really understand what's really a management, which is nothing but managing ourselves first. Thank you, sir. We all know your contribution to Earthworm, thus your contribution to our ecosystem as well. On that, I have a doubt, sir. While I was going through some articles about you, I've seen a word Vermi Wash, which I have never heard before, and it felt strange to me, sir. So, sir, can you explain us what's a Vermi Wash and how does it work? And I would also like to know about how did you become an earthworm enthusiast? And
The
to
second question I have already answered you. It was by accident I started working on Earthworm Scientist. Coming to Vermi Wash, Vermi is derived from the word V-E-R-M-E-S, vermis. Vermis means worm. Compost prepared from vermis is vermicompost, right? Now, what happened was in the course of work, some people took compost as such, put it in water, soak it, and then they started spreading or spraying. That has certain difficulties because it can go and choke the pipes which they use for spray. So we came out with this Vermi Wash in 1982. When, we create a sort of a drum-like structure with a tap outlet. We put all the pebbles,
okay,
we put
sir,
soil.
can you explain us more about it?
I would suggest that you can go through my website, erfindia.org. And also I have demonstrated this in various videos. You go to YouTube, I don't have a bit time because many children would like to ask questions. There's nothing but the water which falls on the worm culture, and that liquid gets collected. This Vermi Wash has lots of plant growth promoter substances in it. You can contact me later by email, sultanismail@gmail.com. I'll send you all the details. Okay.
Due to time constraint, we'll move on to the next question. Vijay sir, just hold on a minute. I'll just move on to the next question. Or Venkat Sai Yadav. The question is, you shoot a question, Venkat. Venkat, are you there?
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
I hope you're not audible, even though I'll read your question. The first question is, what are the challenges faced by soil scientists today, and what is your take on solving them?
There are absolutely no challenges. There are absolutely no challenges for any soil scientist. If I want a scientist, I can be a soil scientist. It's as simple as that. Improving environmental conditions and weather conditions is predictable. Will it continue in future? Methods of improving environmental conditions, yes. We have to improve because we have mismanaged the whole thing. And there's a lot of human-animal conflict, and this is going to lead to zoonotic diseases. But what I'm worried today is a new term has come called as anthropognosis. Zoonosis is diseases coming from animals to human beings. Corona is also one of them. Now the new concept is anthropognosis, that is diseases moving from human beings to animals because the lions in the Chennai Zoo are affected by corona. So it is making a cycle now. This can be very dangerous. So environmental conditions have to be improved better. Okay. Thank you.
Vijay sir, I'd like to answer one question. Tips for younger generation to keep them self-motivated.
I would say, I would like to answer the first one in a very simple one. My motivation, the success behind that is just hard work, keep learning, and never give up. So I think this can be the best thing for everyone. If you have some dream, just don't think twice. Just go ahead with that and give your best that you can. That's the best thing that we can do.
Great. Thank you, sir. So due to time constraint, I'll just move on quickly to the next question to Dr. L. Ramesh. The question is, Janavi Lalit, you can shoot a question to Dr. L. Ramesh.
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. So, as a student, how should I contribute to environment and aware people about its importance?
Yes, very good question, ma. So I will suggest you because you have to start your project. That is what, as a student, how should I contribute? So normally I will talk to the students. I will always tell how can we contribute, how can I contribute. There is two things are there. First we start with I contribute. So you contribute. I will give some solutions. From today you can start a project. there is a two type of things which is there. One is awareness related project, one is research related project. So you can choose awareness related project or you can choose research related project. I will give some tips for awareness related projects. Take SDG goals. We have 17 SDG goals. In that SDG goals, which is related to environment, if you are looking for environment, we have 9 goals is there. SDG 7, SDG 6, SDG 11, SDG 13, like that. SDG 11 is carbon dioxide emission, that is a carbon credential to be reduced, like that. So you can choose any one SDG and select one project. For example, if I tell people are talking about the waste management, you can select some 10 industry, 10 very small industry, and that industry not not actually in a position to do the waste management. Their our total waste which is directly communicating to the air, directly communicating to the soil, directly like this, they are totally damaging the environment. Identify that industry and give awareness for them for 3 months and try to implement the waste waste to recycle or waste to another part of conversion. So this you take as the create a model for that and do the continuous promotion for the 10 industry, very small industry, and try to have implement own industry within 3 months or 6 months. That is a success. So that is enough. So this you make it like a form, like a project, and send it to APJ sir foundation or anywhere our foundation, so that we will give you a model for that how to go and implement. And finally, what will be the outcome as a single student? You changed a one company for implementation, created awareness for 10 company, you implemented one company. Yes, that is the success.
Thank you, sir.
Ramesh.
Thanks a lot.
So we'll move on to quickly the next question to Dr. Bala sir. The question is from Gautam. Are you there, ma? Gautam? Gautam? Okay, Bala sir, this is a question. How to increase the effectiveness of the institutional policy of nature protection and the biodiversity?
Yes, sir. So it's a very good question from Gautam. So I really need to appreciate it because the effectiveness, as Sir was talking about the effectiveness, you need to be a role model for the forthcoming generation. That is one thing. The institutional policy is something like the students who are going out of the college, they need to create a what to say, like a benchmark setting. So that could be the environmental protection, so that can be given to the college. And the institutional policy is that at least the college need to have a policy to maintain the scouts or the societal nature work, so that would give a very good connectivity to the nature protection. So that's how usually the scout or NSS people would be protecting the environment, collecting such work. So that would be the effectiveness that can be connected to the institution. And the biodiversity, it is something like not that we nurture only one such things. It is all about the song which came, right? So the Dee was singing Nai Nari Pune Kella. That was the song which catched more views. The same way, the biodiversity is not alone human being. It's all about all the animals or all the people who are living with us, and we need to nourish as well as give and take. So that is how we can sync with the biodiversity. Without any such earthworm or a dog or a cat, we could not live, because all are connected to for our growth. So that means that the biodiversity can be connected, means we need to have at least a minimal of one lesson, that is social science was given earlier. That social science also need to give some practical idea, like what Sultan sir said, right? So the fenugreek can be grown and they can be taken up by individuals, means they can daily basis they can do it. So that's how we can increase the effectiveness. I hope that would answer it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bala sir. The next question is to again Ramesh sir. Siva Darshini, are you there, ma? So Ramesh, this is a question. What are the solutions for energy crisis? How does energy crisis affect the economy?
Yes, yes, very good part. So present overall energy mix. So we call it the energy mix. The present energy mix is 17% only. The renewable is there. So this 17% renewable to be converted to 75% renewable in the pie chart. That is what SDG 7. The objective of the SDG 7 in 2030 it has to be achieved. Because of COVID and all the things, we can't able to achieve 2030. So this is what actually the world global which thought process. So we all work together to achieve that, to implement the energy, renewable energy. That is one part. Because the energy crisis will automatically reflect with the economy. But our part, if you see the energy triangle, energy pyramid, we call it as. So in that energy pyramid, 40% will be given for energy conservation. Remaining only some percentage will be given for renewable. In the top, very small percentage will be given for renewable energy, and the medium second part will be given for energy efficiency. The energy conservation play a very big role, but very little focus is given for the energy conservation. What is our, like Bala rightly pointed out, so we done a research and come out with a solution, a simple solution how to save 1 unit per day in a home by using Eisen Green 9 simple 9 mantra. So the each house can save 1 unit per day by using simple 9 points. That is what the 9 mantra. So if they start implementing this 1 unit save, which will be almost equal to reducing 720 liter of water and reducing 1.3 kg CO2 reduction. So this is one best solution which already we tested and implemented like this. So my request to go for the energy conservation opportunity. One part the whole globe is going for renewable energy, but we as an individual, I'm talking about the student, those who asked, you start promoting the energy conservation. You convert some 20 house, that is enough. You ask your friend to convert 20 house to reduce some. Last month their unit is 500. Because of your intervention, that 500 unit reduced to 490. Only 10 units reduced. Yes, we will salute you. That you start implementing. We collectively, if you all will do, yes, we can have a give big solution for the energy crisis.
Thank you, Ramesh sir. The next question is to Bala sir from Tejas. Tejas, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Shoot your question.
Warm greetings to all the chief guests. My question is that what do you think should be improved in nature conservation systems and biodiversity of natural ecosystems in addition to just increasing financial outlays on nature conservation policies conducted by the government agencies and ministries of the environment? What else can be done?
Yes, Tejas, it's a nice questions, and I also see your insight. So, being an youngster, so you also think about the ministry and other governmental agency. Means really a round of applause for you. That at a younger age itself, you are thinking about the governance. So you would become a very great leader. So I wish all the best for you. So about the government and government policies, like the entire system is devised only for the protection of environment. So that's how the carbon credentials are being noted down. So I could make a point for any industrial production, the product life cycle has been devised already. And whenever the product is to be manufactured, so the life cycle need to adhere with it. So that means that the carbon credentials is been accountability is been fixed by the individual, and the ministry is also taking up. It's not environmental ministry alone. All the ministries are taking up. Say, for example, as a power industry, so we just make sure that the oil and gas industries are shut down, and we go with renewable energy resources. That is from the Ministry of M.N.R.E. So Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So that is one thing. And the second thing about the environmental means, I can give you an example, very good example of restoration of rivers and connecting of rivers. So that is happening because of this pollution and other climate changes which is happening. Means the hefty amount has been pumped in to connect all such resources where natural resources should not be depleted, and it is also been connected so that every state is being benefited out of it. So that means that river restoration is one such project where Kora, so we can call it as Kuam restoration, a wonderful project that was devised, and all the bunds were cleared, and right now the people are not living around this Kuam river. So now it has become the smarter city. So and the other project which has come up is a smart city plan, where the ministry and the governmental nature has come up with new solutions where people have a thought process. Then and there they need to visualize. They're like switching on the light or switching off the light. It is not for trees, but we need to have an affordability to enjoy the electricity, and also we need to give back to the society. That is the ultimatum that is being given, and these government policies all give such informations to the school kids, where you can also be a part of it, being a volunteer, giving a posting as a minister. So like every school there is a opportunity to work as a minister. So everyone is being allocated as a minister, prime minister, president, all such positions you can take up, and you can have your own governance in creating an environment friendly ecosystem. So that is a wonderful opportunity for you. So thank you so much. It's a wonderful.
Thank you so much. Dear students and the teachers, those who are joined here. So due to the time constraint, now we are going more for the last question. So after that, we'll go for the vote of thanks. Who all asked the questions, we'll give you a reply through your email. What are the email registered to us? Sorry for the inconvenience. Now we move on to the next question, the last question to Gokul sir. So Jiva Darshini, you can shoot a question. Are you there?
This question we already addressed, I think.
You addressed.
Energy crisis.
So Lokeshwari, are you there, ma?
Yes.
Yeah, you can shoot a question.
Good morning to all. Sorry, good afternoon. My question is about the current scenario. What we thought is free goods, water, air, oxygen, sunlight, something are free goods. We could not, we need not to pay. But nowadays it turned into economic goods. We pay for water, we pay for oxygen cylinders. So my question is how we could tackle this.
Location, how the last one, what you asked, how we want to avoid this, or like? Okay. So yeah, it's like one of the important the turn up which Lokeshwari has asked. See, the 10 years or 20 years back, when we try to see our own grandfathers or even our own father and mother, the consuming of water has not become in the plastic bottle. We try to go anywhere, and even like maybe in the pot, we used to drink the water. But what has happened right now, I think the scenario has changed. And without like mineral water in the small plastic or container, we think that this could not be an affordable way to drink. So that is one. I think the mindset of the people has completely changed because of marketing. And secondary, same way, oxygen. I think we never thought, I think maybe somewhere in the news we would see that I think oxygen containers has been put up in some countries like China, where Beijing is completely over polluted. But today, when we try to see, it's become like a very fearful that every people has to have oxygen concentrated in their houses, and we need to inhale it. So this is again a marketing tendency, we can say, because nobody would have thought, like, I think COVID would have come into the picture, and we want to make it up. And there are so many political scenarios also happening. We don't know how this is being created. An example that, see, when we all in the COVID of last year, somewhere in the June, Chinese were started making oxygen concentrated more than 1 lakh. We don't know how they might be known that entire world is going to suffer with oxygen, and they are going to have a demand on the oxygen concentrated. Now everybody has purchased. So this is only one way I think we could able to stop it. I think we have to go back to our own the lifestyle change. what our parents have lived, what our grandfather or grandmother have lived. We need to go back to that. Stop like usage of more technology advancement. Definitely, I think you want to go to moon or Mars. Yes, it's a kind of a technology we need to explore things, but you should not diminish certain things what we have been equipped in the earth. So always like think that the water what we have in our house, I think you boil it, you put some kind of a jeera and drink it. That is what Kerala people have does till now. I think they doesn't even buy something, a big container of aquafina or Bisleri. They boil it in the morning itself with something around some 50 liters or 30 liters, and they put some kind of the masalas what we have like the jeera or the krambu what we say in Tamil, and they boil it and they drink it. It is 100% perfect. But so what's really happening, I think we should have the mindset to change, and we should go back to the lifestyle and see what best we could able to get it from the mother's earth and use it for us. Definitely, I think the God's creature is always like he knows how to connect with complete ecosystem or with the biodiversity. He will not hurt it only because of our own artificial thinking and the more jealous of earning more money, and that has become a change in the lifestyle. And now we are going behind water as a marketing product and air as a become a marketing product, and that should stop from at least from the younger generation whom you are all there. So definitely, I think go back, sit with your parents, sit with your grandfathers, seek them how I could able to change my lifestyle. It starts from early morning from 5 o'clock till you go to the bed. So there are so many things we need to change. Definitely, you try to change, and that will make a powerful humanitarian, a powerful contribution towards the mother's earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Google sir. Now we'll move on to next final session, the vote of thanks. I would like to call Mrs. Nilofer Khurshid, grand niece of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and admin manager of AKIF. Now I leave it to you, ma'am.
Respected or most valued invited chief guest, Dr. Sultan Ahmed Ismail sir, soil biologist and ecologist and advisor of AKIF by House of Kalam, and most valued guest of honor, Shri Vijay Shankar, Indian cricketer, advisor of AKIF by House of Kalam, and our special guest Shri N.Subramanian Airport Director, Tuticorin Airport, TamilNadu, Shri Sasikumar Gendham, Managing Director, Salcomp Manufacturing India Private Limited, and Senior Advisor. Ladies and gentlemen, I indeed it a great honor to close hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest for gracing today's webinar. Thank you, sir, for your very interesting and thought-provoking address.
Thank you very much.
Your extraordinary speech reached each and every young mind to learn more about the environment. I would like to thank our Shri Vijay Shankar, Indian cricketer, for making excellent speech and making this seminar interesting and meaningful. Really, you're a very good inspiration of the young generation, and your interest in environment will definitely achieve more in environment. And also, I thank Mr. Gokul Devendran, Earthworm Scientist, rocket engineer, quality and reliability engineer, and Dr. L. Ramesh, Dean Engineering and Technology and Professor, Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, and Dr. J. Balamurugan, Vice Chairman of IGN, for joining us and enlightening your special address in this webinar. Finally, the wonderful students who have turned up in such a great numbers and put forth their different questions in this webinar. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Once again, I thank you for all our good cooperation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, one and all. Our participation and appreciation certificate will be shortly released in our website. So thank you for joining us. All the chief guests. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Vijay. All the best. Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, is there?